I thought you almost died because you're so funny.
That is how I will die. How did he die? He was too funny to live.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I got Tony. Boom.
I was mid-stretch. I'm trying to warm up my muscles. Pull, get
Tony.
these.
This Tony
Get these right here. It's
Touch,
it. Oh, this is a good stretch.
How does Tony
do this?
Do his stretches? He touches himself. Touches himself.
All right, I am sober. Here we go.
This is sober.
Well, I can't go that far. You know what I mean? Can't do it.
Have you ever been?
Don't you have to have your eyes closed too?
Yeah. Have you ever been stopped for a sobriety check?
No, I have not.
No, me neither.
I'm a fairly careful driver. I'm not gonna lie. I drive like an old person, like real slow, real nervous.
the tiny wheel in your car.
Yeah, I'm not at 10 and 2 either. You know, I'm at like 11 and 1. You know, just right up top here, riding over just looking over it.
12-6, baby. 12.
You're a 12-6er? You know what? I'm a one-hander. I'm just at about 7 o'clock with two fingers, just kind of spinning the wheel, you know?
So this show, we talk about movies, and Tony found us a banger this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a certified classic. What is it? Certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. With I think a 35%. I think that's right.
Certified rotting flesh is what this movie is.
I love new movies because it just reinvigorates me every time we find a brand new movie that comes out that fits perfectly on the podcast. Because we'll never go out of work. We'll never go hungry for terrible movies. And this is a great Adam Driver, great actor in general.
Super charismatic, you know. Do all sorts of stuff
from this movie, but I've seen it happen. I've seen it in other films, and he can bring it. This is, of course, 65.
65.
The movie we're doing 65.
How many pages of dialogue are in this movie?
2.5.
Okay.
This is a good place to start because I have a real question for you, Dan. Why don't they speak the same language? Why are we using that as a device?
There's two questions. So you mean why would someone choose to have a movie with only really two characters and then have them not speak the same language?
To communicate at all. Yeah.
Because the person that wrote this movie is a moron. So basically, the movie is they crash on Earth in the past, and there's dinosaurs
65 million years ago. That's the title, guys.
And then they have to trek from their ship to another bonus ship that was on their ship.
After Earth, because it's essentially the same plot.
Will Smith sitting through this movie going like, ain't got nothing on me.
Right. I did this way better, and people hated it. So good luck.
And so they have to travel from their busted up ship to another ship, which will ostensibly not be busted up, to escape.
Yeah.
And the people are Adam Driver, who was the ship captain, and then one of the people, because they were transporting people in pods. Yeah. So everyone got killed except this one young girl, and the two of them speak completely different languages. He barely even can comprehend the language.
He barely speaks his own language. Let's be clear.
If you crashed a ship and Tony's the captain of the ship crashes, the people get out, he would look at the person, he would say, and they would say something, and you'd be like, oh, you're French, or you're German, or you're Middle Eastern, or you'd have a pretty good idea. But
he doesn't even know the language. He can't identify.
He doesn't even have a comprehension of what it is. And this would be like a point where you could maybe do some world building, talk about how there might be some conflicts between him and what they're speaking.
Sure, from the people, sure. Yeah, that's good.
You could spend some time filling in the universe
distancing
that he comes
themselves.
From.
Yeah, of course. We don't have any information about where they come from.
No.
Except for they have a beach.
There's a beach. and unusual rock features at said beach.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So they cannot speak, and then when they kind of do sort of learn to speak, she does it like she's not kind of touched. They don't even like spend like 5 minutes going like, my name is Miles, your name is Koa. Koa.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles, boom. You instantly have this. Everybody has been to the movies, has tried to communicate with someone out there in the world. Manja. We do that. They don't even have that to sort of give us this baseline of how these two people are going to interact and whether or not one of them is kind of mentally slow.
And which one is it? So
there's no reason to not have them to communicate. And without having them communicate through the whole movie, you can never build any. He'll set up these devices and you won't know what they are. He won't say what they are. You don't know what they do. He just does them rotely, and we have no information. And so we don't know what we're afraid of, what might happen, what might not happen. And then when it goes right or wrong, then we understand that it goes right or wrong.
Yeah, but here's the good news. There's not a lot to be afraid of on this planet, it turns out.
I'm sort of not. It's so hard to tell.
I don't expect you to know this answer, Dan. But those are my two biggest questions. One, why would you choose to not have them be able to communicate, or not even try to like make them communicate? And then B, how many dinosaurs were there on Earth? Were there a lot, or were there really just like 4?
Oh, so you're saying there weren't enough dinosaurs for you?
I feel like there's so much walking. And they very rarely see a dino. I'm just basing this off of nothing. Just what in my head, I imagined there would be more.
If we really look at, if we look at animal populations nowadays, you can't. A predator can only support so much mileage, right? You can only have so many predators per square miles, and my actual feeling was there was kind of too many predators. For reality, for a movie. If the fights had been better, I feel like there was kind of the right amount of dinosaurs. There should have been positive predators. Dinosaurs and dangerous dinosaurs.
See, now that's my problem. Where are the herbivores? Where these predators? We see a slew of predators. What the fuck are they feeding on? I don't see anything.
Human beings, what they're feeding.
Got it. There's tons of crash landings. And they're like, oh, thank God, another one. We got to eat these people. The ecosystem didn't feel fleshed out. It just felt like we're only meeting the apex predators, which aren't even very scary. And I just didn't feel like we saw a lot of the beauty of what this movie should have been,
Well, yeah, that's we all remember seeing Jurassic Park and seeing the herds of dinosaurs running, across the fields, which were not menacing them. They were just dinosaurs. And, one of their first interactions is with a Triceratops. And then later we're in the trees and we hit Brontosauruses. This is a movie I saw probably one time. Maybe.
You saw Jurassic Park one time?
I saw it one time.
You got real problems, Dan.
And I remember those things from it.
Yeah, because it's a world full of wonder and beauty, and then, also danger. Great. I feel like that's what this movie's missing, is the part where it's like, sure, there were killer dinosaurs, but there were also like beautiful, majestic animals that this guy should fucking be able to be like, wow, this place is beautiful. And then, maybe something tears its head off. I don't know. Cool. Whatever. We really missed the good parts of everything, which explains them, is also the way I explain the movie. So,
and of course the other thing is they treat the animals, the dinosaurs, like, I see a human being, I will do everything in my power to constantly attack until it is dead.
They don't know what it is. Absurd. Shouldn't they be curious?
Cautious?
Just be like, yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
It's interesting. Sometimes you see stuff about the watering holes in Africa and how the animals sort of share them and how they have to. There's this ebb and flow of danger and not danger, and it's not just the lions do not spend 24/7 trying to chase down everything that's alive to kill it. They have patterns of rest, and they have cycles. They're living creatures as opposed to these things that have to try and kill Adam Driver and this girl within 24 hours of them showing up on this planet.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's stupid. Like everything. All the decisions in this movie are stupid.
Now here you go, Tony. So there's a Snickers bar sitting on the table, Tony, there in front of you.
No, there's not. I ate it. Continue. Sorry.
This before you eat it. You see it there.
Okay.
You grab for that Snickers bar, and that Snickers bar shoots you in the face with a gun a number of times.
Yeah.
Are you going to just keep reaching for that Snickers bar as it shoots you in the face with a gun?
I mean, this is a tough question. Snickers bars are real good. Here's the thing. Let's pretend I've never had a Snickers bar before.
There you go.
That's what we should do, because I already know how good Snickers bars are. So a part of me is like, well, can I figure out a way to do it where I don't get shot? But if it's something I've never tasted before and I'm just like, that might be food, it might not. And then it shoots me in the face. I'm like, not food. Copy that. Message received. Not food at all.
You'll turn around and go to your refrigerator and get something else.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll be like, never mind. Sorry. That was my mistake.
Good luck. Good luck, Snickers bar.
Good luck, yeah.
So we'll get to that later in the thing. But it's just like, just give us some actual animal stuff that, it's like when those raptors are hunting the kids in the thing, those raptors are only going to go so far. If you get to a certain point with the raptors are going to back off.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, boy. Spoiler alert, I just want to say I hated this movie, Dan. I strongly disliked it.
It was so interesting because there was so little here, compared to like Swordfish, where you're like, the writer's trying stuff, people are giving speeches. Does it all glue together? Does it glue together?
No.
Not really.
Nah, but I don't need it to. Well, I'll tell you
movie, that. When we find movies that just get thinner and thinner and thinner until they're just like a sheet of wet tissue paper that just like just gone. And
now I want to, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more as we go along. But one thing I want to say, in my opinion, one of the reasons Jurassic Park is so successful and beloved is because we don't murder all the dinosaurs. We escape from the dinosaurs, but we're not here just pumping rounds into these dinosaurs and murdering folk. It is ridiculous. I don't want to see dinosaurs get shot in the face. That might just be me. I don't know. But here's my thing. In my opinion, he's the bad guy of this movie. Let's pretend the dinosaurs are us. An alien comes down from space, crash lands, and just starts popping people in the face. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy of the movie, okay?
Predator is the bad guy.
Right, exactly. And I still enjoy that movie, but he's not the hero. Same with this movie. He came down to someone else's ecosystem, and instead of trying to figure out anything, he just starts shooting. His very first interaction, shoots a thing, bashes it in the fucking face. This guy's not a hero. I want this guy to die the whole time.
Super interesting. Did you ever watch Love and Monsters?
Yes, Dan. Yes.
There we go. That whole movie is about
wonderful film.
Figuring out an ecosystem. When he finds a robot, I believe he finds a robot, he can talk to that robot, can't he?
Yes, he can.
So the lone solo guy goes out, finds a robot. You know what the robot does? It talks to him so we can have an interaction. Whoa, lo and behold.
That's a great movie, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch it.
Super fun movie.
Lovely.
He's slowly, everybody's hiding from the monsters, and he goes out there and realizes we can't just hide from the monsters. We have to begin to understand the ecosystem, the world we now live in. And through the movie, they do that. And at the end, what do we find? We find the bad guys are finding a way to exploit the ecosystem to their own benefit. And that's what makes them the bad guys.
Big surprise.
Adam Driver, the bad guy.
The bad guy.
And that's the other thing. They so basically they crash and they're trying to get to the ship to escape back to their place. There's no higher purpose in this.
No, not at all.
She's not the princess. She's not somebody that, has the genetic material, is not Children of Men, where we got to get her through because it means something, right? In Children of Men, you're like, boom, they're trying to get that girl to the thing, and she's a pain in the ass, and he's a pain in the ass. You gotta
get her there because she's pretty much gonna save humanity, so we better do it.
Yeah, and so there's a necessity of sacrifice. His necessity of sacrifice is that he had a daughter and she died.
Yeah, which, oh boy, can't wait to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, okay, you know what? Because now I want to jump to the end to yell at some stuff, but let's just do this stupid movie. It was my mistake.
No, one last thing.
Okay, one last thing. Yeah. Talk to me.
The producers of this movie.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Chaos Walking.
Well, okay. There you go. There you go, guys. They were like, remember that one time we drowned a dog in some water? What if we just did that to all the dinosaurs?
Did they drown a dog in water in that movie?
They killed the dog. Didn't they drown it, or did they shoot it? I honestly don't remember. They killed a dog in that movie, and I was very, very upset. And so then they were just like, let's just make a whole movie about killing beautiful animals. Let's do it. Goddamn idiots.
And these guys just have a laundry list of movies, and you're just like, what are these movies? Why are you letting these guys...
Yeah, I'll make shitty movies all day. Hollywood, call me up. I got ideas, bro. First up, Teddy Rex 2, though. I don't care what you say. I'll do one for you and then one for me, and that's Teddy Rex 2.
Hour and 33 minutes, the only saving grace of this movie.
Yeah, nice quick hitter.
2023. Beautiful shots of space. Then it says, prior to the advent of mankind. Is that how you'd put it? I mean,
that's not how I would put it, because I read it and I was like, I don't even. What does that mean? I don't know.
It's before the coming of mankind, but advent to me means sort of almost invent, like before mankind was created.
Correct. Yeah, it's almost like confirming a god.
So here we are on planet Somaris. There's our whole world building of the thing.
Yeah, great. Don't worry, you're not going to learn anything about it, guys.
A very sleepy name, Somaris.
Somaris.
And we meet Mills, which is Adam Driver. We meet his wife. We meet his child, who's.
Yeah, it's hard to act sick. I understand that. But still, sometimes just really painful to watch. It's like, you're really pushing it now, guys. Maybe just talk about how you're sick. Maybe make her nice and pale. Don't make her like cough through her lines or fake. You know what I mean? It's too hard. It's too hard.
Don't make her cough through her lines.
She's not. I've seen her before. She's a good actor, you know, and it's just that it's a hard thing to do, especially if you've never. I mean, what? She's had maybe a cold. She's 10 years old. She doesn't know what it's like to be sick. Hey, I don't know.
Have that nose running, It's really,
there you go. Yeah.
So basically, she's gonna die, or she's sick. So he's taking this ostensibly one last job or one long job, which is going to take
a long job. Yeah, 2
years, and he's going to get 3 times salary, and then this is the money that is going to be necessary to cure her, right?
Ostensibly, yeah, that's what they say.
We find out later in the movie that she just dies.
Now, Dan,
I don't understand.
Was that a surprise to you?
Well, I would have thought, if I was writing this stupid movie, that he would be if he gets back with the princess or whoever, then he gets the money. If he doesn't get back, he doesn't get paid, and then his daughter's going to die. Right,
and that's how you create his drive to live through the 100%.
You got to
find
that's
some
not
stakes. Where we're going. No.
His stakes are his kid is gonna die, is dead.
Yeah. So
even though we're setting up that he needs to do this thing to save her.
So this is the first note that I wrote, and I write these in chronological order, and I don't change them, and I usually don't read the early ones unless they're jokes. But this was my first note. 2 years. What if she dies while you're gone? That's it. That's all I said. And then 10 minutes later, she's dead. And I was like, well, yeah, there you go. I knew, like, 100%. Of course. Why would you leave? I don't know. It's just super dumb. Super dope.
They should have written you into the script, and you'd have been his best friend. And he's like, I gotta go do this thing. And you're like, go, but she's probably gonna die. Why are you going?
She like, why don't you spend the time with her she has left because she's dying, and then you can go on a trip later. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know. It's so stupid.
Make him have a contract where he has to. It's like,
great.
Why,
that's nice.
Why are you setting up an expectation with an audience that you're just going to break for no real reason?
Nope. Yeah, it just doesn't. It does not compute. I don't know. Super weird.
Okay. And he teaches her how to whistle like this.
That's not quite it, Dan, but I'll allow it. You don't interlace your fingers. It's a cupping. So you cup, and then you lay your thumbs next to each other. I can't do it anymore. I used to be able to do this back in high school.
I can do like a foghorn.
I can't do it. It's almost there. That's how you do the loon call in Minnesota. That's the woo woo woo. That's how you do it. I used to be able to do it. I can't do it anymore.
So he teaches the daughter this, and I think she says something like, "You know how to do everything." She does some sort of loaded line that never means
never pays off because he doesn't know how to do shit. I'll just tell you that right now. He doesn't know how to do anything. This guy.
No, he does not bring expertise to bear at any point in this movie.
He also isn't very fatherly. You know what I mean? Did you feel that too? I was like, they're not related. These two people, they're not related. They're just talking some lines, but I get no fatherly love here. None at all.
He protects her, but he's not protective of her.
Yeah.
It's very different things.
So, and maybe we shouldn't talk about this so early, but one of my biggest problems with the movie is his relationship with Koa. It's very weird because he never treats her like a daughter.
Yeah.
And he never acts like a father, which is strange because he should know how to do that. Usually in this scenario, you would have someone that's never been a father, and then they have to learn that fatherly instinct to protect Koa. Or you would just have him already know how to be a father because he is a father, and then he could treat her like a daughter and they could bond like that. But like at one point she comes at him with a flower to put it in his hair, and he's like, what are you doing? That's a flower. It doesn't go in my hair. You're telling me his daughter never put a flower in his hair? Like they do that shit. That's what kids do. Like I went to my niece's. I had my fingernails painted for 3 days. They're not even my kids. It's just what you do. I never get the feeling that he is a father ever, or he's just the worst father of all time. And then I'm like, yeah, of course he left because he doesn't give a shit about this girl. He never cared. That's how I feel. I don't know. The whole relationship's very strange to me.
There is no emotional connection in this movie between the characters, but even in the characters in and of themselves. Kind of, they never.
Yeah.
He never starts out because he is sort of depressed at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we don't see him come out of that depression and then, he could have been very dark and depressed, and then he comes out of that, he brings her the flower and he's just like, oh my God.
Softens. He could soften throughout the movie. That would be something. I would allow that. Yeah. There's just nothing. It's just so bad.
And these are the things that draw you into a movie, and that's why a movie like this, you never got drawn in.
No.
You didn't care.
No, we'll put a pin in this, but I would say that's because it's not their story. But hang on to that until the very end of the movie.
Not their story. Interesting. Cool ship. His ship is cool.
Cool ship. Da 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 da. Cool ship. Because cool whip. No,
it's cruising along. Here comes a little asteroid. I'm like,
a little pebble.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm like, here we go. Here, action's about to happen. Boom! It bounces off the thing. I'm like, well, that was kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
It didn't destroy the ship. Interesting.
Yeah, but then
it gets hit by more, and then he wakes up and has to go in there and take charge.
Now, before you move any further, Dan, I have some logistical questions about A, space travel, and B, asteroids.
Yeah.
Does the ship not have any sort of radar?
Okay, well let's talk about a few things. Okay,
let's talk about a few things.
A few things. First of all, in the asteroid belt, the asteroids are, I believe, maybe hundreds of thousands of miles between each other.
Is that true?
It's absolutely true. There's no such thing as
interesting.
This, because think about it.
No, because I've seen Star Wars, and they're weaving in and out of these fuckers. Okay, so don't lie to me.
Those kind of things do not exist.
Interesting. Okay,
because
I did not know that.
Just think about this, Tony. Like, take a planet the size of the Earth, and then you spread it out over an amount of space that's a million times more space or something. Think about how far it is. Think about how far the orbit around the sun is. And if you smeared Earth around there, then it would be,
I guess, that makes sense. That's true.
Astronomical distances are so large. They're astronomical.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. And I don't know, but when we send things out there, you do not want to be running into anything. Pinhole meteorites are things you're very afraid of. You're afraid of everything.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. Yeah, because if you get one hole, you're pretty much dead, as we see. So wouldn't there just be some sort of like sonar? Boo.
Well, you'd have.
I'm just doing Star Trek now.
Yeah, you'd probably have to have a shield or something. If you're doing science fiction-y stuff. Yes.
And shouldn't there be like an alarm that comes off and it's like, "Hey, there's something coming," as opposed to, "Oh, we've been hit. We've been hit."
100,000
I don't understand
times.
that.
Yeah. No, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
You go. That's all I have to say about asteroids.
Okay. My second question is: there's no co-pilot? Why is he the only guy flying the ship?
Who knows?
Okay. Well.
That's arbitrary.
We have a flight from L.A. to Houston. It's a couple hours long. We got two pilots just in case. You know what I'm saying?
And a navigator too, right? Don't you usually have 3 people?
And a trusty navigator.
Typically,
he's boop boop, and then this guy's over here looking at stuff. The radar, making sure we don't run into asteroids. I guess
this is a big ship that has another interstellar ship on it, right? The escape ship is like some sort of interstellar
full other ship. Yep.
And it's transporting 12 people, I suppose.
I don't even know. I don't know how. Yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention, I think.
That doesn't make any sense. Cost effectiveness. It's like kind of insane. The other problem is, why would they be anywhere near Earth?
Great question. Where are they going and where are they coming from? Why are they in uncharted? Because didn't he say they're in uncharted area?
Yeah, this
why would they
uncharted
be
planet.
Somewhere uncharted. Why
would they be within seconds of Earth? Yeah. There's no way. There's just because first of all, it doesn't make any sense, right? If you're traveling interstellar distances, you're not going to go anywhere near a star that you're not going to, right?
Or that you've never seen, really seen before. You would and this isn't the first voyage. It's not like they're going to places we haven't been. They're going from A to B on a transport. Mm-hmm. They should know everything in between.
When you're going from LA to San Diego, you don't swing past Reno while you're on the way there. You just
I don't look out the window and be like, "What the fuck is that? I've never seen that before in my life." You know what I mean?
So it just doesn't make any sense. And you want to have them in like a hyperspace, and then they drop out of a hyperspace. Yeah, where you fold through dimensions or something, and then they're just like, we got to plot a course. Oh, what do we have on the scanner? Oh, there's a planet.
Great.
Doesn't make any sense.
What are the chances, Dan, that we're overthinking it and Adam Driver just took a nap, forgot to put in the autopilot, and they're just floating along for like a whole year?
I don't know.
Okay.
These kind of things just sort of drive you crazy. So they crash, and while they're crashing, they do a cutaway to the daughter, and it's like the daughter is sensing him having the crash. Did you get that feeling of that weird scene?
I got that feeling, but then I immediately forgot it because there's never another moment like that throughout the whole thing.
Yep.
Also, This is my last thing I'll say before we even get to the planet, because we've talked for like 20 minutes and we're about 3 minutes into this movie. He doesn't seem all that scared for crashing.
Well, he has nothing
He
to
seems
live
pretty
for.
chill.
He has nothing to live for, so it's one thing that actually makes sense.
Does he already know she's dead before they crash in? Okay. So he just is like, these people can suck it. Got it.
Shall we talk about the elephant in the room?
Well, who's the elephant?
That we're watching human beings do this thing. We're watching human beings appear on Earth 65 million years before there are human beings? I don't understand.
There's cave drawings. So there you go. She's the cave drawer. Is that not a thing? I don't know enough about human history. Tell you that.
Human beings came, hundreds of thousands of years ago? Yeah, I mean,
about 65 million, according to this.
We had nothing to do with dinosaurs. There were none of us.
I wish we did.
Dinosaur times. So I don't understand why they're human beings. They don't give us even an explanation as to why they're human beings. I don't understand why they're human beings.
So wouldn't we be able to discover those bones at some point?
No. What bones?
Oh, really? Because those dead people are scattered all over the Earth.
Oh, I mean, could we find that spaceship? Sure. But if we found a spaceship that was filled with human beings, we'd be like, I don't understand. It just doesn't work. Human beings evolved.
No. Well, he's not a human being, Dan. That's your problem.
What? He's not a human being.
Samosa.
He looks exactly like a human. I mean, don't they have to give us some bone?
Oh no. So okay, I see. I agree with what you're saying. Also, he speaks English, as far as I can tell, which is very confusing.
Shit and other completely colloquial
he's got
things.
Like vernacular.
They don't even try to add some secondary vernacular. No, he's exactly.
I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, well, he's Adam Driver.
Can't make him work hard.
No. This movie's too stupid to try that hard, you know?
But I mean, doesn't it piss you off that there's human beings on there's not even a thing I was like, okay, we're going to get the twist at the end. They're the first humans or their DNA gets left behind somehow or something. No.
Well, again, I mean, we should find a giant spaceship, one. And two, we should find these bones and be like, well, these bones are really, really old. That's very strange.
So you and I should just find these and get confused, as opposed to shots of Earth growing and then there's a city in the background and then that's it.
Well, don't give away the ending, Dan. We have to talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about the ending later. He's hurt. He has a wound on his side. He puts some first aid on it. Then he goes and puts on a pressure suit, an astronaut suit. This wound is always acting like it's going to mean something, but it never means anything.
Never. It barely slows him down.
He guns up. He gets a gun, goes outside, falls in a swamp. There's a monster in the water. Talk about how he deals with the monster in the water.
Don't we just cut away? Does he do something with the monster? I don't remember. There's a couple of false starts that were just monsters are coming, and don't worry about it.
No monster.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. It happens three times? Are there three different monsters that are on the verge of coming and then we just cut and he's fine later and he's somewhere different? I don't understand. This is what I mean. There's not enough. We don't fill out the world because how did he get away from that monster without it noticing him?
You think if it's a monster in this world, it would have come and ate him. It's like in Star Wars. They get in the trash compactor. Sloop, it goes by them. Boop, the eye pops up. Boop, they're fighting the monster.
Great. Yeah, because you introduced it, so I better frickin' see it. Okay?
So he's distraught. He's
distraught.
He realizes he can breathe the air, so he takes off the helmet. He's gonna do a send. He's gonna ask for sending. He doesn't ask for help to be sent, but he sees that there are two missing paws.
The first message, he asks for help. Then you rate. He's like, "Don't send," and redoes his message, and he's like, "No survivors. Don't send help." Why would just don't send a message then? Because now they know there is a survivor. Let me ask you a question, Dan. if you're the guy receiving that message and it says no survivors, don't send help, is your first thought, well, who the fuck is sending me this message then? There's somebody alive here because somebody sent me a message telling me not to come get them. That doesn't make no sense. My first thought is, okay, well, this guy killed everybody else and he's on the lam. Because somebody is alive and apparently everyone else is dead and he doesn't want help. This guy murdered everybody.
More importantly, I'm going to think he stole the ship.
Oh, yes, that's good too. Exactly. Hey, nope, sorry, guys. Everyone's gone. Don't come look for us. But thanks anyhow. Just don't send a message. You all died then. Don't send the message. Oh,
so then
gosh.
He decides to go kill himself. And then why doesn't he kill himself? So he's going to kill himself because he doesn't want to get rescued or something.
Dan, I have no idea. He just told the people not to come for him.
Then he's going
to go shoot himself, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that either.
What's he going to do?
I don't know. I have no idea what his thinking or motivations are. They don't make any sense. This is not a train of thought I can follow.
When I'm taking my notes, I'll write something, and then I'll write a big question mark next to it if I don't understand. So I write, gonna kill himself? Question mark. And then I wrote, but doesn't.
Yep. And it's not because his daughter's dead.
So he watches videos of his kid
who's dead,
and then he figures out that there's one survivor. Then he marches in the swamps and finds a survivor, but he also sees a big dinosaur footprint.
Yep, and then he's holding her, and it sounds like there's growls coming, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, uh-oh, there's going to be a monster coming. And then we cut and we're back in the ship and they're both fine.
Hold on. We have the titles now.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. We have the titles. All right.
And then
that's what interrupts it.
65 million years ago, a visitor crashed on Earth. Visitor?
Yeah, because he's an alien, Dan. Visitor? He's not human.
Visitor?
Visitor? Is that it? Okay. And also, it doesn't mean anything for anything. Like that title alone, a visitor came, but then nobody knew about it ever, and nobody cares. Okay.
So
cool story, bro.
Boom, he goes back to the ship. They're asleep on the ship. He figures out that there's an escape vessel, but he can't scan for it for unknowable reasons. His scanning works sometimes, doesn't work sometimes, turns on, turns off. There's a computer that helps him sometimes, doesn't help him sometimes.
Well, because nothing on the ship works. He says that line at some point, and I was like, are you kidding me? Everything works for the most part, unless you absolutely need it to work, and then it conveniently doesn't work. But you got lights on all the time. You got stuff happening all over the place. This ship's in pretty good shape.
There's like this one. So then he goes out to try to figure out where the escape vehicle is. He's walking, and then he reaches down and he picks up like a small dinosaur bone. He's like looking at it. And then we pull back, and then there's all these dinosaur bones right in front of him.
Right in front of him. Not even in the distance. Like, he could have, when he picked this up, if he would have just reached out, he could have touched bone to bone, and it's just a giant, like, dinosaur skeleton. Where was he going? Wasn't he looking ahead at some point?
Yeah, he was absolutely looking ahead.
All right. I don't.
Then he reaches the geyser field, where there's these geysers. Which later on in the movie, he's going to run back to these geysers and use the geysers. And ostensibly, the escape ship is 15 kilometers away from them. So he's going to run at the end of the movie for 15 kilometers.
That's very interesting. I forgot. You're absolutely right. Yeah, he's a long range runner. That's back on his home planet. He's a marathon runner.
Which also, them covering this 15 kilometers takes an infinite amount of time.
Yeah, hey, because I'm an American. Yeah. How long is a kilometer?
I think is it 0.6 miles? It's 0.6 miles. So,
okay, so 10.
It's about 10 miles.
Oh, shit, you could do that in like a day. You could do that under a day.
Easily.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's rough terrain, but...
I don't know if I could do it all in one. I think timing wise, I could do it under 24 hours, but I
Easily.
would need some breaks.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would need
I'm thinking
breaks.
2 miles and I need about a day's rest.
So then he gets attacked by this little dino, which attacks him, and he kind of kills it easily and kind of doesn't really take any damage.
Yeah, because it's just a baby dinosaur. It's probably 1 year old or under, and he just bashes the thing in the face with his gun like a dick. It's barely doing anything to him, and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to kill it. I'm not just going to push it away or shoo it. I'm just going to just bludgeon it to death, and then when it moves a little bit, I'm going to hit it again. I mean, this guy is just a horrible human. Or sorry, whatever. I don't remember his planet, but whatever he is, he's terrible at being that.
So the dumb girl has woken up and then fled the ship and is running away. So he chases her down, and then they have to flee from a dinosaur, but then they just easily flee back to the ship.
Yeah, and then it's just fine. Yep, again, just another one of those, like, is it going to be Dan? No, it's not dangerous. Sorry. I got excited for no reason. Dan, let me ask you a question, because I forgot to ask you this when we woke her up.
Yeah.
She's cryogenically frozen. She's in cryosleep.
Yeah.
And he can just open the container and then take her out and she's fine? There's not like a de-thawing process?
Would have been a nice moment for her to go into cardiac arrest, and he has to save her. He has to show some sort of expertise. He has to talk himself through, like, oh my God, the training. What did I have to? Okay, I have to do this. I have to do that. Maybe he could verbalize something, since he is getting paid for this movie.
He can't talk good. Okay.
Someone working on this movie should realize that us, the people watching the movie, do not know what's going on. And if he doesn't tell us something, since he's the guy with the word mouth, I have a word mouth. Where I have a word mouth. Where I can help you understand the world that I'm living in and what I'm doing.
No.
You have to give, it's like, I understand you, it's brooding Adam Driver, but you have to let him talk a little.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice if I understood anything. All right, I'm sorry. Continue. So they're back at the ship again.
He pours out this red powder, that he has a whole thing of red powder. Then he shows that this thing is at the top of the mountain, which we're like, oh shit, that's going to be hard when they're climbing that mountain. Let me tell you.
Not at all.
All they're doing in this movie is walking to the base of the mountain
on
and then
flat surface.
On a flat surface. And then they're going up one thing, which is about maybe 12 meters. I don't know what a meter is. 12 meters tall.
He can basically lift her to the top of it. I don't even understand what's happening.
He draws a very big mountain.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not that. I think there's just I don't know. Maybe it was a metaphor. Maybe the mountain's a metaphor and they have to get the gumption to climb the mountain,
He sort of tells her that her parents are at the top of the mountain. So that's her motivation, her only motivation to go up the mountain.
Yeah.
Not escape, not that she would, it's like if you got to me like, oh, that's how we escape, I'd be like, oh, you don't need to hide that her parents are dead. Right?
Yeah. It's super weird.
That they're trying to make this going to be like this motivational moment where she realizes her parents are dead. It just seems like a dumb punishment and a dumb.
They're trying to create conflict out of nothing because there's no conflict in this movie, and then they also don't even pay off that conflict. It doesn't make any sense. It's a bad movie.
So Koa's off in their room. There's videos of his kid, so he watches them. She watches them, and then he finds her, and he shuts it off, and then he's like, let's go. Okay.
Yep. Okay, great.
Pterodactyls flying. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, one of the few, animals we get to see. I think, is it the second? This might be the second dino that we actually get to see.
I think we're just seeing him fly at this point. Really cool.
Yeah.
They're going. She throws berries at him. He puts them in this magic container that tells you whether a thing is poison.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Poisonous berries. She's going to use these to kill a dino later. No.
Yes.
The poisons that kill you are like neurotoxins, which come out of like snakes and things. Those are the poisons that kill you. I don't think poisonous berries is like. I think that's
if I eat enough of them.
Let's give you a stomach ache and make you throw up, kind of thing.
I bet if I ate enough of them, Dan, I could kill myself, and I'm talking like truckloads. I do want to point out, just in that scene, how he explains to her that the berries are bad.
Yeah.
He goes, mouth, tummy, rah, 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 rah. Now, does that tell you that they're poisonous to you, Dan?
No. This is what you do.
Okay.
This is poisonous. Mouth, stomach.
Dead. Okay, got it. You're dead.
That's dead.
I don't know what rah, 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 rah means, but I'm kind of into it. I'm like, well, tell me more. What does that mean? I'll do it. That seems fun.
Might mean it's spicy.
Sure. Yeah. Oh. I don't know. This is bizarre. Bizarre stuff.
Big bug flies up, lands on the back of him. He swats it, and then he gets sticky bug on him, and then he sticks to
and
a
then we
thing.
get some physical comedy.
You want to talk about the comedy, Tony?
I was being facetious. There's no comedy to be had here. He grabs on. He's like trying to wipe it off. He puts it on the bark of a tree, and then the bark of the tree comes off and sticks to his hand. But then when he waves his hand, the bark of the tree just flies off. How does that make sense? How is him touching the tree and pulling it off weaker than him just shaking his hand? That doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. I don't know. I know what they're going for. They're going for like a little moment where she can kind of giggle and there's like a bonding moment or something. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Now we're going to talk about your favorite scene in the movie, Tony. Are you excited?
There's no way that we're already in the cave, so I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go.
This has to be your favorite scene in this movie.
Oh boy. What is this?
So they're walking and they look, and there's this super cute baby dino, which also looks very dangerous, caught in this pond. And so they go over there and she makes him help it. They get the baby dino out. The baby dino's like walking around and really cute, and they're treating it sort of like their pet. And then it walks off a few meters. And what is it? What happens to it, Tony?
Gets eaten by compies. They just come out and they fucking destroy this thing. What are you doing? Why? Why would you ever do that? There is no reason to kill this poor, defenseless creature. It is asinine. I was so mad. I was like, oh, look at this cute dino. By the way, the first innocent dinosaur we've seen. The first sweet, and it's the only moment of the film you get where you're like, oh, dinos are cute, which is they are, by the way. It walks cute. 5 feet away and it gets torn to shreds. The fuck are you doing, guys? Whoever made this has real problems. All right, like deep-seated problems. They need to go to therapy, and they need to figure that shit out before they make more movies.
Wouldn't that be... I mean, in the stupid John Carter movie, he befriends this little dinosaur thing, and then it follows him around, and then it saves him at one point.
Right, and that's a great story. That's a great tale.
That movie's terrible.
Are we doing that at some point?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, someday. Someday we'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one because I remember seeing it, not when it came out, but later, and just being like, Brad Bird. I'm not a Brad Bird person.
What else is this Bradley Bird?
He's a Pixar guy, but he also did Iron Giant, which I do not like Iron Giant.
I've never seen Iron Giant, but everybody loves it. I mean, except for you, clearly.
I do not like it.
Okay. All right. I'll have to see it someday and get my own opinion, but that's no fun.
And then she
Dan, thanks. I totally forgot that even happened in this movie. Thanks for bringing that up.
So the little raptors kill them. That they hide from the little raptors, and then she cries.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, he covers her mouth with the hand that he was just wiping all over the stuff, by the way. So that's disgusting, and we never talk about that. Her face, totally clean. Doesn't make any sense.
So they go to the river, and they drink. Then they go a little more, and then they're lost, and so he has to climb a tree. Then he puts his hand in a hole, and then more bugs crawl on his hand, and then he falls, and then he dislocates his shoulder.
Yeah.
and then she has to help him reintegrate his shoulder, and then the spooky dinosaurs come. I call these the spooky dinosaurs.
Because they don't look like a dinosaur that is real?
I don't think there's any dinosaurs like this.
But
they're pretty spooky.
I'm not a dino expert. I'm not saying that, but they don't seem like a dinosaur I've ever seen talked about before.
They have these snaky heads, and they crawl like this, and they're not any dinosaur.
And they can kind of crawl anywhere. They're kind of like on the trees and stuff. So they seem to be kind of all powerful in a way. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're real, maybe they're not. Who knows?
How many of them are there?
I think 50, 55, give or take. That's what it seems like, because the scene goes on for about 25 minutes.
So, of course,
they just keep coming.
He starts shooting them, and they will not stop. They will do. They don't eat their brothers like you would think they would do. You think they?
Right. Oh, look, there's meat.
There's a pile of meat there. Your best. It's like if Tony gets shot. If I'm very hungry and I'm hunting someone, and Tony gets shot in the head, I'm eating Tony.
Listen, Dan, I'll allow it, okay? Because I could feed you for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Hide out in a cave. I got you. But also, why'd you let me get shot in the head, man? What the hell? That's messed up.
Because Adam Driver's a good shot and we don't have guns.
That's true. Can we talk about for just 1 second how he's working on his shoulder, totally dislocated. What is locates? That can't be the right word. It goes back into place.
Pops it into place.
Immediately grabs the gun and is firing on all cylinders. Like, this guy, nothing is wrong. Doesn't bother him at all for the rest of the movie. This dislocation, not a problem.
I dislocated my shoulder. I did something to my shoulder one time. And I couldn't use it. It was so fucked up. I literally could not pick it out. I was moving this big thing over my head and it would pop. And it just was like this. And there was just fell. Big piece of metal. I could have died that day. And
Jesus. It's
like when your stuff goes out, but not Adam. He's Adam Driver.
Yeah, it's a good point. He's Adam Driver, superstar.
Of course, he just fell out of. So he's shooting them. She's running. She runs, hides behind another log.
Let's talk about that for just 1 second, Dan.
Yeah.
The guy with the gun, the only defensive weapon they have, tells the girl
to leave,
totally defenseless, to run the other direction. Now, Dan, if there was just one dinosaur, I'd allow it. There is, as we just said, a multitude of dinosaurs. It takes one. Just one of these dinosaurs to be like, oh, hey, that girl's running the other way. I'm going to go eat her, and she's done. Mm-hmm. She's defenseless. Mm-hmm. I want him to get eaten so bad in this movie.
She goes onto a beach, hides behind a log, and then here come the pterodactyls landing.
Yeah.
They are so cool looking. They look good. Oh my God, they're so good looking.
Yeah. And if only we had more dinosaurs that were cool looking in this movie. They're sparse. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't feel like there's enough dinos in the movie.
So we're like, okay, here's the point in what was the Will Smith movie called?
After Earth.
This is where the bird picks them up and takes them to the nest. We're like,
that's right. Yeah,
she's getting taken to the nest. He's got to go to the nest. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get more of this pterodactyl nest. It's going to be great. He's going to have to climb up there. She's going to be hiding. She's got baby pterodactyls. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful.
Dan, what are you trying to write? Like a good movie? What's happening? Stop.
Then the spooky lizards just show up on the beach, chase off the pterodactyls, and then he comes and kills the rest of them. And she is never picked up. Nothing happens to her.
Yep. Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good.
Oh, she gets dragged off.
She gets dragged a little. Yeah, but she's fine.
No, she's not fine. She is freaked out, so they have to stop. Because she has suffered some horrible unknown trauma in her life.
Physically okay.
Physically, she doesn't even get a hangnail. Nothing happens to this girl.
She's totally fine. She's just a little scared. And I get it. It's scary, all right? I'm not saying don't be scared. It's okay to be scared, kids.
So he then teaches her how to do the hand whistle,
That's it. That's it. I got it this time. All right, I'm gonna wet my whistle. There we go. I can't do it. I can't do it. I used to be able to do this, no problem. Come on, Tony. Maybe you're sweaty. Maybe you got sweaty hands today. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, guy.
What the fuck? Oh, get sweaty hands. Oh, got such sweaty hands.
You can hear it almost trying to start. Can you hear it? Ah, dang it. I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
So pathetic. He teaches her, but he doesn't really teach her. She just does it a different way.
Yeah, she does a different whistle, and he's like, oh, different places on our planet have different whistles. Wow. I don't know what's going on.
Do they ever communicate with the whistles again? It almost seems like they do a couple of times, but
they do one time when they get separated in the cave.
She makes the noise. She makes the noise. But he does not make the noise back to her. And
he doesn't make it back. He runs somewhere. I don't know where he's running, but he's running.
Wouldn't it have been great if we saw her doing the whistle, or he hears the whistle, he's like, oh, yeah, and then we cut to her, she's doing the whistle, then he does the whistle, and then she's like,
we're good, we're alive, huzzah.
It would have been this point of communication between these characters that speak different languages, and it would have been actually kind of beautiful. And they do not, they tell us that they're going to do it, and then they're like, we're not going to do that. No.
That is correct.
No, that would mean something.
That's too good. It's too real. We don't like it. Next.
Okay, it's night. So they're night. They find a cave. And what? Talk about the perimeter of things that he sets up to protect them.
I don't know what these devices do because they don't actually tell us. Yeah. But he basically draws an outline of their bodies for their perimeter. And they're so close to them. I don't even know what they could possibly... All they would do is warn you if something's about to grab your face. That's it. Would be like, no warning, no warning. Warning! Oh, no, it's too late. I'm dead. Doesn't make... They're so close to them. I don't understand what's happening.
We don't set up that he's going to stay up and watch. We don't set up anything.
No.
The girl has taken one of his videos. She has it. He's like, why did you take this? Then we find out
she's like, I don't know, because I felt like it.
And I can't speak the language, and you're asking me questions.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what I'm saying, and let's watch a movie.
And then this is when we find out that his daughter died, because he watches the videos or something. I don't know. We're like, oh, she died. Wow, this is a great point to tell us that.
Right, and I'm like, so what is the point of any of this? And it turns out there isn't one.
So now they're sleeping, and the alarms start pulsing. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Wouldn't making a noise be better than pulsing?
It wouldn't wake me up. I'll tell you that. Lights don't bother me. I don't know why. My wife turns on lights all the time to read and stuff. Don't wake me up.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's good, except for what if somebody was breaking in the house and turning on lights and I didn't wake up? I don't know.
She'd be hitting you with that book.
That's true. That's true.
So we cut to her. Her mouth is now foaming. He then wakes up. He runs over. He picks up one of the perimeter things and puts it in her mouth. And she sees this creepy bug, and then it blows up the bug, and then she spits it out, and then she's alive.
I cannot explain what happens in this sequence. I don't understand.
Why is she foaming from the mouth?
I have no idea. Also, she seems incapacitated. She can't do anything except for foam at the mouth.
She seems immobile. She's not reaching for her mouth. She's not doing anything.
Right.
She's just laying like
But then the very second that this bug gets zapped, she's awake. There isn't a recovery period, if it's putting her to sleep or numbing her or something. There's no... it's immediate. The bug's gone. She's like, "Oh, I'm good. What was going on?" I don't understand a thing.
So in this cave, in the back of the cave, there's a weird hole that leads down, And then the things start pulsing again or something, but so they know something is happening, and they're like looking at the hole, looking at the hole, and then boom, the T-Rex is behind them. So
this is the I think genuinely the only part of the movie that I really liked is this one scene.
So talk about the scene then.
This is it. You just said it. Because it's the cave opening is behind them, like the actual outside of the cave opening, but then there's like a deeper cave hole, and that's what they think the thing is in. And it's raining, and then behind them, like a T-Rex head just kind of shows up in the rain, and it's a beautiful shot. It is stunning. And then they ruin it. And then they immediately ruin it because he just shoots the T-Rex in the face a couple times, and then that's about it.
He shoots the T-Rex in the thing, and then they jump down the hole to get away from the T-Rex.
Yep.
And then they go in the hole, and then the computer plots a course for them. Somehow it can plot a course underground based on nothing.
Like a lot of things that I don't understand, and he doesn't want to tell me.
They go. There's another.
Except for it can't translate. We forgot to mention that the only thing that's actually broken is the translator that he's supposed to have. It's the one thing that's truly broken on the ship.
Because we know how hard it is it's very easy to make a thing that plots underground caves via air currents versus simple language translation.
Yeah. You know what you can just do on Google for free. Yeah. Good stuff. Stuff.
So down there's another dinosaur, which I think is a blind dinosaur.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't see it enough, and it's sort of always weird. That's the other thing about the lighting in this movie. Everything is always so you can see things enough. It never feels dark, and I don't know if that's good or bad. It gets kind of weird at a certain point where you're kind of like, I could see everything, and I kind of feel like I should be able to see everything, except when things get messy, then it just gets all jerky,
blur,
badly edited.
Correct. Yeah. No, I mean I agree.
So,
but it's hard.
They find the way out. He tries to dig, and then he's like, "We can't do it. We can't go out." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a bomb."
Yeah. So his idea.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Doesn't he say I have one bomb left? Because then he gives her a bunch of bombs.
He gives because they do one, and then he gives her a bunch to go further.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
So they blow up this thing. Yeah, we're gonna say.
Well, yeah. So they're trapped. They're in a dead end, but they hear wind or whatever, and he's like, "There is a path through here, but it's blocked right now." So his idea is that in this enclosed underground space, he's gonna detonate a bomb, which will for sure not destabilize anything.
Well, you know what it'll do? It'll blow your fucking eardrums out, and you will be deaf for the rest of your existence.
That is for sure. Yeah,
absolutely,
that is very true. Yeah. But it works.
He did have a gun that he could shoot the hole with, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he still had his gun. Lots of bullets. Seems like the bullets are not a problem, by the way. They're infinite, I think. I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about that later. That's like my favorite thing. That's one of my favorite things in the movie because it was so stupid. So she starts crawling through. He crawls through. I am claustrophobic. Sort of. I guess I should say I feel claustrophobia when I watch people in claustrophobic situations.
Sure. Yeah, you can empathize with that.
If they'd have... And he basically starts in there, and immediately the rocks fall, and he can't go any further. It's like, give us 3 minutes of them crawling through this thing. Come on.
Maybe just a little tension, dramatic tension if you wanted some. But nah.
They throw it away instantaneously.
Maybe they have it in the director's cut that's an hour 45, but they're like, we got to get this down to a cool 90.
So then he goes back, and then he's in this. Oh, do you want to talk about how fake the cave looks?
Well, yeah, I mean, you just did. Have you ever been on the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland?
I went once.
All right, well, let me tell you the entrance, because they do long, extravagant entrances. It's through fake rocks that look more real than these rocks do. So if that tells you anything, that's how I felt about it.
Disneyland makes much better fake rocks than the poor guys that had to try to make this movie.
In their defense, Disney's pretty good at it, so I guess there's that. But
so he has to fight this dinosaur underground. Which at one point they show him fighting it on the scanning thing, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Sure, yeah.
And then at some point he realizes he just has to turn on a light and it'll run away.
And then it's fine. I don't know.
Okay.
How did he figure that out?
I
don't even remember his process.
Let me rephrase that. He didn't figure that out. It just happened.
It just happened. Okay, thanks, Dan. Got it.
It's not like he was trying to light the thing and it just goes that and the monster goes, and he's like, God damn it, come on.
Gotta do it. Charge.
We're in darkness and it goes, and he's like, come on, I gotta do this. Come on, just work. Just a little bit of light. Please, come on.
Just a little bit of light.
But what does he say during all of this?
He doesn't say anything. I don't believe.
He does not.
Right?
He does not help us at all. He does not help us at all.
In most movies, the heroes, even if they can talk the same language as the people around them, they still talk to themselves.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You know who's good at it? Mark Wahlberg, I feel like, is very good at talking to himself in situations.
What? No. This movie's like if you had made Castaway, but you left out all the dialogue.
No, yeah, yep, yeah.
No, Wilson. Good. I'm not. Fuck you, Wilson. I'm not talking to you again.
I'm not talking to you. You're a volleyball, you idiot.
Okay, so she makes a weapon. Oof. She uses the berries and finds a big thing, and then has a weapon. Do we see her carrying this weapon?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Maybe she's got it tucked under her shirt like a sword or something.
So Koa has to fight the little raptors? She fights the little raptors, or she just runs away from them and hides?
One, because it's chasing her and she runs into a log. It finds her and it crawls into the log, and then she traps it in the log, and then that's not good enough for her. So then she also explodes the poor dinosaur for no reason.
How many of those bombs does she use on that one tiny dinosaur?
50! All the bombs that she has for this one tiny little poor dino, she's just pouring them in, just you know what? That's not enough. Here's another 100 explosives.
And why isn't Adam Driver helping her fight this little raptor?
I don't know. What's he doing?
You got to remember, it's the other greatest thing in the movie.
I don't remember. Shoot, I don't remember. What's he doing?
What natural thing has sidelined him?
Is he going pee-pee? Taking a little 10-1?
Nope, he's falling into quicksand.
Oh, God, that's right! He's just running along, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sinking. I'm sinking, bro. I'm sinking."
More importantly, now, Tony, if you're drowning in quicksand, are you going to put your arms under the quicksand, or are you going to put your arms out of the quicksand?
I'm going to put them under immediately, because if I know anything about quicksand, if I'm if I'm as straight as I can be, I'll go slower. That's what I know about quicksand.
And of course, as his head goes under the quicksand, no hands out.
No.
Boom, she pushes a branch down in there. He's under, she can't see him.
How does he see it? He's underneath the thing. But yeah, he comes out. He's all good.
So she does the old bent branch, and he grabs it, and he's flung out of the quicksand. And they do a big hug. And now we set up that they have 12 hours. They got to climb there because the meteors that hit them out in outer space are coming to hit and extinction the dinosaurs. So we got to move. Now we're on the clock.
Did you see that coming?
Well, because they kept cutting in the outer space. Yes, I saw that coming, and I was like, this is so phenomenally stupid that they're there on the day that the asteroids are going to kill the dinosaurs. I'm like,
and that's why we never know, because the whole planet gets nuked. There you go. That's why nobody knows the humans were there, Dan.
More importantly, those asteroids are coming and hitting Earth right exactly where they are.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. And now it's night again. He's like, here's the whole bit of their climbing is like 12 feet. So he lifts her up and says, tie off this rope. He's waiting. She's like, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Then he climbs the rope, and then she is tied off the rope 1,000 times. I thought that was funny. All these.
It is funny. Here's my problem. He hands her a rope that looks like it's maybe 20 feet. And then you get up to the front, and she has 100 feet of webbing before he even comes out. Where did she get all that rope, Dan? That is not the same rope that he just handed her. I watched it happen.
No, because
it's funny.
If you're making a comedy, he'd be sitting down there, and the rope would just keep going up.
Right.
He'd just be like, what the fuck is happening?
What is going on up there?
Then he'd get up there and he'd be like, oh, okay.
Good job.
And then boom, they're at the ship.
Yeah, pretty easy journey. Pretty easy journey. I love it. Easy journey.
Walking over the flat, very hard. Going up a mountain, nothing. Takes nothing.
Super easy. Yeah. Don't even worry about it.
She figures out that she was duped. She sees the pods. She says family. She's pissed. He talks about his daughter. Then he gets the launch sequence ready, and then all the meteors decide this is their chance to hit the ship.
This is it. This is our time now, baby.
And then the ship gets attacked by a dinosaur. T-Rex.
Whoa, hold on. Everyone that hasn't seen it, they don't know that the ship is now turned upside down because it fell after getting hit or something. Yeah, or something. So they're upside down and they can't launch.
Let's imagine you have like an F-16 fighter jet.
Got it. Yep.
You've parked that on top of a mountain.
Yeah. Yep.
And a meteor hits it and it falls off.
Yep.
The mountain.
It's fine. It's still fine. Don't worry about it.
Tom Cruise just gets in there, runs an engine sequence.
And we're like, oh, cool. Yeah, still works. This guy built Ford tough. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so then the dinosaur comes.
Why does the dinosaur attack a big metal ship?
Lights.
It attacks lights on a planet
I
with
don't
no
know.
lights?
Also, that's not why it attacked them earlier.
They had lights. They had lights earlier.
I guess, yes. Yeah, they had lights. So lights. That's my answer. Lights is fine. Final answer.
Lights. So this dinosaur is attacking a big hunk of metal that has two tiny, tiny little humans in there.
Yeah. For no reason.
For no reason.
But, I mean, he tears that shit apart.
Tears it apart. And it's still going to work because all she has to do is press a button.
I mean, it's still fine.
There's like a fixed spaceship button. Don't they have like a line? There's a line.
I don't remember. I don't know if I wrote it down, but it's basically like repairs happening now or something. I was like, repairs? You got broken windows. You got things are laying on the ground. What's happening? It's T-1000ing where it just melts together and I don't know. It's bizarre.
So he unhooks himself and can see the gun, which is across the field.
It seems very far away. I don't know.
So he unhooks himself, then runs. Maybe he kills one of the dinosaurs. Does he kill one of them?
Not until he gets the gun.
Oh, so he runs over.
The gun is his big thing.
Gets the gun, maybe kills one of the T-Rexes, and then two more come.
Right. It's one shot, Dan. It's like
really?
He shoots it right in the eye, and this thing fucking falls. Ridiculous.
So he shoots one, and then two more come. Those two T-Rexes probably going to eat that other T-Rex unless they're in like a throuple or something.
A throuple. They're in a polyamorous relationship. These three. Yeah, no, Dinosaur. I don't know, Dan.
So he runs off. And then he gets to the geyser area, and then he tricks
before that happens, Dan, he's trapped. The two dinos have him trapped, and the Koa turns on her projector machine
to distract them.
Shoots down a projection of the daughter video 300 yards away, and it's perfectly in shape. It's the best projector I've ever seen in my entire life.
I didn't hear.
Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so she does that.
You didn't hear what I just said?
No, but it's okay. It's probably funny.
No, Dan, we have to talk about it. Okay, what do you mean you didn't hear what I said? What
she
happened?
She shoots the projection
about 300 yards away.
Yeah.
Like this, it's not how projectors work, Dan. I don't know if you noticed, there's a projection angle that you need. She's shooting this thing so far away, and it's still perfect. It's the right shape, it's the right size, and it's totally lit. How is this possible? This is the best movie theater screen you've ever seen in your entire life.
It would work with lasers.
Does it?
Lasers, yeah.
But I don't feel like that's what it looks like. I feel like it looks like a projection. But whatever. It's ridiculous.
So his gun is out of juice. It goes. Yeah. And so what does he do to fix the gun?
He just pushes buttons.
There's more.
I don't know.
More buttons appear, and he just goes.
He plays Simon Says on it and tries to follow a pattern. Book, 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 and then it's just, and I'm good. And it's back. Again. Dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe he shoots another T-Rex. He runs away like for 10 kilometers from the third T-Rex.
10 kilometers. And this other T-Rex can't catch him. It's running. But he is outrunning a dinosaur, Dan.
So he gets it, and the geyser shoots the T-Rex in the head, and T-Rex like, that's not going to do it. And then T-Rex goes in there to kill him, and then the girl shows up and stabs the T-Rex in the eye. With the poison weapon.
Yep. And yeah, anything else you want to say? It's ridiculous. It's so dumb. Honestly, like, what are we even afraid of as humans? We would have dominated the dinosaurs. They are super easy to kill, it turns out.
And they go back to the ship. Push the one button, the ship repairs itself, and then
it's totally fine.
They fly away.
And then they fly away, and then what happens?
And then
what's the end of the movie?
We see Earth become our Earth, and then there's a city?
Yep. So it starts scorched Earth because the meteor hits and blows up our Earth, right? But they escape. And then we just watch Earth slowly evolve over time, and it becomes a city. So what happens with Koa and Adam Driver's characters?
They go home.
Do they?
That's his new daughter?
You don't know.
That's his new daughter.
Do you? You're making a lot of conjecture here, Dan.
Sure.
Because this movie, not a story about them at all.
Because this is
a story about Earth. Let me tell you why, Dan. Because we open up on Earth and we close on Earth. We don't get any closure to their story whatsoever. What happens when they go back? And where are they going? They're meeting some ship that's going to rescue them. Is it going to bring them to where she was supposed to be transported? Does she have more family over there? Is she going to be safe? Is he going to go home to his wife with a dead daughter? Has she moved on? Does she think he's dead? Is there going to be a reunion? Are they going to be able to stay together even though their daughter's dead? Is he bringing home Koa as a new daughter? There's no story. There is zero story about them in this movie. This movie, not about them at all. This movie is about Earth, and this is just one chapter of Earth's story. That's all it is. It's a terrible film. This is a terrible, terrible movie. I hate this movie, Dan. This is a bad one. Anyhow.
Anything else you want to say about this stupid movie?
No, that was it.
This movie makes like 10,000 BC look good. It makes Oblivion look good. It makes Swordfish look good.
Well, Swordfish kind of looked good on its own. Can we please acknowledge that? I still liked it.
Yeah, this movie, pretty much terrible.
This will all be over before you can say "Cat in the Hat." Oh, John Travolta's cool, man. Oh, you remember that line from Swordfish? Oh, come on,
I kind of do. It made no sense why he would say that, but he said that.
I have no idea.
You are correct that he said that in that movie.
Yeah, this is not a movie that I would recommend you seeing. It's not good enough to be fun.
I would watch the 30 seconds where the pterodactyls land on the beach. That's
pterodactyls, and then the shot of the T-Rex in the cave, which luckily is in the trailer. So you've already got the best part of the movie. And
the cute little dinosaur, but turn it off before he gets killed.
Immediately. You only watch it for about 8, count to 8, and then turn off.
Because it's not fun watching the poor little guy get killed.
So stupid. Golly, it's dumb.
Talking about something we like this week. Well, We just did a show.
I know this is for those unacquainted right now. We usually do this once a week. We just did this 2 days ago, so it hasn't been very long in between.
So I'm just going to pick Sour Patch Kid bunnies. These were the ones that came out for Easter.
Easter?
I bought some.
Oh boy!
On the cheaps, they're kind of nice because they're like less sour. They're kind of mild. So
interesting.
They're really good. What do you got, Tony?
Today brought to you by Sour Patch Kids. Thanks, guys. I'm just gonna say that it's NBA playoff time, so I'm just watching a lot of basketball, having a good time. By the time this comes out, the Timberwolves will effectively be eliminated from the playoffs, and that's fine. It's fine. We're not going to win a single game in the postseason, and that's fine. We're not very good.
Who's the best team? Is it what's his name? The Greek Freak? Is
the Bucks? They are. I don't remember what they are right now, but they are not sweeping their series. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so they're working.
Yeah, a couple teams look pretty good. I got high hopes for the Celtics again for some reason.
Really?
I think they're looking pretty good.
They know how to put a team on the old hardwood.
Yeah, without like superstars, in my opinion. Just like a solid foundation. I appreciate it.
So
anyhow,
this movie, so I get to pick a movie now. As we see with like this movie that we just watched, the same production company as Chaos Walking. The same names keep cropping up. Cropping up.
Sure, okay. So this is like an old favorite?
When we were doing Swordfish, I was like, let's read all the names and let's see what the Swordfish director is doing. What was he doing 10 years after Swordfish?
Okay, yeah.
So Swordfish 2001, 2011, he brought together Nicolas Cage.
Great.
Ron Perlman. I don't think we've done a Ron Perlman movie, have we?
Ron Perlman, okay.
Beauty and the Beast, You know who he's married. He's married to someone that's in love with me. Just saying.
Yeah, which is shocking on both levels. Shocking that he got her and shocking that Dan got her. You know what I mean? Just
say, she had to make the way of those decisions. Dan Goodell, Ron Perlman.
I get it. You're both incredibly old.
I was not available, so she chose.
That's right.
Him.
So she had to move on. You can't blame her. You can't be mad, Dan. You have to respect it.
So in 2011, they let him make his final movie, which,
oh, gosh.
It's a movie called Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch? Sure. Okay. All right.
I'm
pretty sure I saw this.
Fantasy, Teutonic Knight, some sort of...
Yeah. I think I saw it. So I don't think it's good.
Some sort of murky medieval bullshit. And that's what we're heading. We're heading... Giving old Nick Cage a run, 2011.
I love Nicolas Cage. Oh, I'm excited. I want to see Renfield really badly.
After seeing him in that Pig movie, I was just like, man,
yeah, it's good.
He can be so great. It's so sad when he's so terrible.
Well, I think he's just, he just does more than he probably should. You know what I mean? Like
he tries.
Yeah, I love him. Anyhow, all right. Season of the Witch. Is that what we said?
Season of the Witch.
All right.
And if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, maybe subscribe, and we'll be back next week doing Season of the Witch.
Woo! Goodbye, everybody!
See you later.
Hey, watch him!